السلام عليكم. أنا إيمان علي، طالبة دراسات عليا، كلية طب بيطري جامعة القاهرة، دبلوم الرقابة الصحية على الأغذية. حاليا أنا هتكلم عن بروجكت خاص بمادة البايوتكنولوجي تحت عنوان Protein Quantitation Methods. في البداية هنقول introduction سريعة توضح لنا إن في variety في الأسايز الخاصة بقياس البروتين concentration in a sample. as ان انا عندي في methods بتعتمد على ال UV absorbance. في methods البيز بتاعها بيكون reagent معين and there are immunoassay technologies. The suitability of the assay depends on the sample volume and or the sample type that is available for analysis. The quantification of a specific protein can be carried out by using assays such as Western blot or ELISA. يعني في methods معينة بستخدمها لقياس نوع معين من البروتين زي الويسترن بلوت or الإلايزا. لكن في methods تانية بتكون generalized بتقيس the total protein concentration that's present in the sample. The first one is UV absorbance assays. Using the ultraviolet absorbance to measure the protein concentration is relatively simple protein quantitation assay. Amino acids with aromatic side chains such as tryptophan, tyrosine provide proteins with their distinctive UV absorbance at 280 nanometer. The absorbance at these particular wavelengths can be obtained through spectrophotometer. The main disadvantage of this method is that the non-protein components in a sample may interfere with absorbance measurements. Additionally, mixtures with different proteins in a sample could cause varying absorbance reading due to the difference in amino acid compositions. The second type of this method is reagent-based assays. Reagent-based assays, these methods or include those that utilize colorimetric methods such as BCA, Lowry, and Bradford assay. The BCA method and Lowry method both involve the formation of copper protein complex. These are sensitive assay and less variable than Bradford assay. دلوقتي هنتكلم عن reagent based assays examples. The first one is Pirate method, second one is Lowry method, then BCA assay, Bradford method. طيب هنتكلم in deep شوية عن Pirate method. Pirate method بتقيس concentration of the protein in the range from 5 to 160 milligram per milliliter. دلوقتي هنتكلم عن principle of the Pirate method لأن هي the first step of both Lowry method and BCA method. هنشرح شرح سريع للرياجنت دوت، وهو ان هيتم تفاعل ما بين الكوبر والامينو جروب of the peptide bond in basic media. The Pirate reagent بيتكون من 3 components. First one NaOH, sodium hydroxide. Second one is copper sulfate. Third one potassium tartarate. The blue color mainly form from copper sulfate, from which we get the copper, and the NaOH provide the reagent with the alkaline media, and the potassium tartarate chelate the copper which mean that stabilize it. في السلايد دي هنشرح التفاعل بشكل انديب اكتر. لما بيحصل mixing between البايرت reagent والسامبل اللي بيحصل كالآتي، ان الكوبر بيكيليت 4 peptide bonds. هيحصل عندي formation للبايرت complex which has a specific violet color, and the copper is reduced to coppers, which is very important in other 2 assays, Lowry assay and BCA assay. The absorbance of this specific violet color is at 540 nanometer. So the increase of the violet color mean increase in the copper amount or copper peptide complex, which means we have a large amount of protein in the sample. The sensitivity of this method is very low, and it is only recommended for quantification of protein in highly concentrated preparation, for example in a serum. We use a Pirate assay calibration curve for calculation of the amount of the protein. من خلال الكيرف دوت أنا قدرت أطلع equation أحسب منها the protein concentration in the sample. الإيكويشن واضحة قدامنا في السلايد as إن ال Y هي ال protein concentration of the sample, X is the absorbance at 540 nanometer. Advantages of this method: it is a fast method. It can be completed in less than 30 minutes. It is the simplest method for protein analysis. The limitation of this method, as it is an insensitive method, required at least 5 mg protein per test. The second one is Lowry assay or Lowry method. It measures protein concentration range from 10 to 100 microgram per milligram. The reactions occurs in two steps. The first one, as we previously say, is Pirate complex. The second one is tyrosine and tryptophan complexes react with Fulene reagent. The Fulene reagent consists of phosphotungastic acid, phosphomolybdic acid. بس احنا لازم نكون عارفين ان الفولين reagent is considered as an oxidizing reagent. في السلايد ده احنا هنشرح الميكانيزم of Lowry method step 2. As the step 2 consists of two steps. First one is oxidation, the second one is reduction. As we before said that the copper is chelate with four peptide bonds forming Pirate complex, which has a specific violet color, and the copper is reduced to coppers. Then during the second step of the Lowry assay, the coppers is oxidized to copper again. Also, the Fulene reagent is reduced to molybdenum blue. The molybdenum blue has a specific blue color that absorbs at 750 nanometer. So the more blue color indicates there is a high amount of peptide bonds that chelate copper and produce coppers. The absorbance measurement is compared to the value of a standard curve to determine the protein concentration of the sample. The advantage of this method, as it is a very sensitive and accurate assay, but the limitation, it is incompatible with certain commonly used chemical reagents such as tyrus, EDTA, DDT, and carbohydrates. The third method is PCA assay. It measures the protein concentration range between 20 and 2000 microgram per milliliter. As well as in the Lowry test, reaction occur in two steps. First one is formation of protein copper ion complex. Second one is formation of a copper's PCA complex that give a very specific purple color that's absorbed at 562 nanometer. The fourth and the last method is Bradford or Comesi blue. The test concentration range between 20 and 2000 microgram per milliliter. The principle of Bradford assay depends on mainly Comesi brilliant blue. The Bradford assay is performed in acidic media. As we know, the protein charge is positive charge. So, the Comesi brilliant blue give the protein pair of electrons. So, the protein become unstable. Then, Comesi brilliant blue converted into stable anionic form, which has a specific blue color. The absorbance of this color is at 595 nanometer. The disadvantage of this method is the reagent tends to stick to glass and plasticware. For this reason, the use of disposal cuvettes is recommended. At the last slide, we have the equation to calculate the concentration of the protein by using Braidford method. And thank you.